Hi guys, welcome. My name's Antony Cummins and I'm a historical researcher. Now, a question has popped up for a long time now and it continues to pop up, and I think I should make a video to answer this. So this is a bit of an ad hoc video. I thought I'll do a video this morning because I keep seeing the question come up time and time again. And the question is, people either ask themselves or ask other people, do you study ninjutsu? Now, normally this is meant in an aggressive way, like, you don't study ninjutsu, I study ninjutsu, and they say you study ninjutsu with, and everybody argues about who studies ninjutsu. So I thought what I'd do is I'd clear the air about what actually the study of ninjutsu means. So, first of all, we all know what ninjutsu is. It's spying, it's espionage, it's infiltration, it's breaking and entering, it's poisons, it's, network gathering, network creating, information gathering, all that type of thing. So let's look at the two words of studying and practicing. So let's class study as academic study. Let's class study as you are reading, you are contemplating, you are writing out, you are actually studying it. And let's have practice as physically practicing it. So ask yourself, are you studying and practicing, or are you only studying, or are you just practicing without any real study? So let me say this right from the start. If you're in a dojo and you're dressed in black and you're doing something with swords and you're doing something with shurikens and all that, and you're doing hand-to-hand combat with another man, you are not even doing ninjutsu anyway. So you're not studying ninjutsu and you're not practicing ninjutsu. Then that doesn't go in. But everybody knows that now. I think everybody's got that. So the question is are you studying ninjutsu? Now, I'm making this video primarily for the historical ninjutsu research, historical ninjutsu and samurai warfare page, which I've seen everybody's discussing it on there. So here it is. And so you've got some people. I say I would mainly study ninjutsu with a little bit of practice, because it gets really difficult practicing ninjutsu. So studying, you have to study it from a book without a shadow of a doubt. You cannot study it from anywhere but actually, study it like you study something else. Like, that's why they invented war manuals. They've studied ninjutsu from books for hundreds of years with a master who taught them the secrets and the depths. There are no masters left, so all we have are the books. And of course, that's not as good as having a real master, but they non-exist, so it's impossible. So what we do is we look at let's say the Bansen Shukai. It's called the Book of the Ninja in English. So we study that and we're like, okay, on such a night you will infiltrate from such a position. If a castle is big, you infiltrate from here. If it's small, you infiltrate from here. You've got all these things. If there's a wall, you use this saw with a long bag. Which type of spy is which? All those things we study and study and study. Well, I do anyway. It's like constant study, checking, translation, checking. That is going in. That's the study of ninjutsu. Practice. Now this is where it gets really difficult. How do you practice these things? So, we don't live in medieval Japan. The only way you could probably practice innin, which is infiltration ninjutsu, is either by breaking the law or by having a very, very understanding friend who'll let you saw through their fences, who'll let you break into their house. Maybe if you live in America, out in the outskirts of Ranchville somewhere, or one of those states where it's very much a desolate place with wooden buildings, they might let you saw through their walls. I don't know. They definitely won't let you do it in England, and they're made of stone anyway, so you couldn't do it. So can you practice innin? Yeah, you can creep about with your friends at night. That's possible. You could possibly saw through your friend's front door if he'll let you, but I've never seen it done, or I don't expect anybody's actually doing that. You could poison people, but then you'd get arrested and and you'd kill them. So innin is very difficult to practice unless you've got a group of friends who go to a remote area and practice it. But then, of course, you all know the other person's there. The point of ninjutsu is people don't know you're there. So then you'd have to creep around a public place, which makes it, again, you'd probably get arrested. So practicing ninjutsu is illegal or very, very difficult. So then you get for the yonin. Now, yonin you probably could practice because nobody's going to really arrest you for having you know, a pretend actor, fake identity. So for example, if I went and pretended I was a builder and I learnt the terminology of being a builder, and I went and spoke in the pub with builders and said, yeah, I'm a builder too, you know, or I'm a lorry driver, and I have to take on their attitude, their vocabulary, their mannerisms, the smell of their clothes, everything, then yes, you can practice yawning. I've never known anyone do it. Or for example, I know Stephen Nuggieri did a small group test where he had people go out and map the local area, very much yawning stuff, very much practicing ninjutsu. So the question is, I've seen people arguing about it, and you're like, no guys, you can't think of it like that. Remember, if you're in a dojo and you're doing any form of hand-to-hand combat, you're practicing taijutsu, you're not practicing ninjutsu. So are you studying it? Studying it is the most important, because without the study you can't practice. You can't practice without studying it. So book learning and book study is the number one. Books have been around for thousands of years, you know, in forms of scrolls before they were books, but the written word has taught us and passed on information for generations after generations, and they are massively important, and there's no difference now. Books still taught from the past. Practicing, you really need to be careful there, because what are you going to do to practice ninjutsu? So while we can maybe build the traps, or maybe build the shelters, or even trek, I did a 20-mile trek to test how difficult it is to get 20 miles, you know, and I'm trying to aim for 25-mile trek in a day. And so that's my practicing ninjutsu, because I want to learn how to really get, my goal is a 50-mile march for a day across, you know, wilderness to get to another town, i.e. you're transporting information. That's what I'd like to get to. So that's my practicing of ninjutsu at the minute. So not to make this a horrible debate, but basically, how are you practicing ninjutsu? If you're on the historical ninjutsu and samurai warfare page, then that's great, talk there. If not, talk on my YouTube page. We all know ninjutsu is not hand-to-hand combat, so you can't be practicing in a dojo, or at least you're not practicing that form. So how are you studying it, and how are you practicing it? What are the things you're doing to practice ninjutsu? Remember, it can't be hand-to-hand combat, so let's have a proper explanation of how you practice ninjutsu. And I'm sure we're going to get some great answers, and maybe show some videos of how you've done it, like climbing the wall with a sword, things like that. If you want information on the ninja, just go to the links below. There's lots and lots of ninja information now translated into English from the original. You can just see all the links below for all that. Alright guys, enjoy the conversation, and I'm off out for the day. See you later.